I've been doing some experimenting with social advertising lately because and I've had this conversation with a friend of mine. He's the one who actually was kind of the catalyst for me thinking like this. The AIA is, I don't think it has a purpose anymore. I know that's probably going to be controversial to say, but I just don't think it has. The intended purpose of it in the first place was for awareness of a dealership's inventory, but I don't think it's doing that. So I get more traction and I get more conversions on a static tiled offer carousel than I do on any AIA carousel. I get way more traction on a video. Actually, I got 50 leads in the last 7 days of last month on an ad that was just a GM walking around the store and edited together a bunch of videos saying the tagline for the OEM. I mean, there's so much other content you can do other than AIAs that I think we don't explore because we think as car dealers, we have to do an automated inventory carousel. Do we? I mean, really, do we? So I've been paying attention to some of the more strict brands that want to guide what the store is spending. And even they aren't saying AIA. They're saying new sales, fixed ops, CPO sales. So they're not dictating that you need to have an AIA carousel on social. They just want you to have this much money dedicated to new advertising. So instead of doing AIAs, I would challenge you to lean into alternative content on social. And now I'm not saying rip all your marketing dollars away from your social media vendor, but what I am saying is instead of putting $10,000, $12,000, which I do have some stores doing that, why don't we take some of that money and use it to boost some organic posts we have at the store? Why don't we use some of that money and get a video done of our employees at the store? Why don't we use some of that money and utilize it to push whatever post is getting the most interaction? Things like that we can do internally that I think are a little bit more efficient use of a dealership's budget than just throwing money at the AIA and hoping that it goes well. Now, I will say that I do get a decent amount of traction on a single model AIA. So for example, with Mazda stores, their biggest part of their inventories right now are CX-5, CX-50, and CX-50 hybrid, the gas and the hybrid. So I have a couple of stores where those are single AIA carousels, and then I have an intro card, or in some cases an intro video, a 6-second video talking about that particular unit, why they should buy that particular unit, or the offer on it, the lease offer, the finance offer, whatever the store's flavor is. And that does get more eyeballs. But I think the narrative, and I'm guilty of it myself, the narrative of pushing that paid social is just an awareness play, I'm going to go ahead and call bullshit on that. I think we can do better. I think our clients deserve that we do better on social than just telling them it's an awareness play. I'm not saying that we're lying, because there's significant evidence to the reach and frequency, and the clicks and the engagement is where that I'm speaking to. I don't see it there. The reach and the frequency, I see it there all day, but I don't see in the engagement on leads, on clicks to the website, on calls. I don't see it there. And honestly, as a dealership, if it were my dealership, that's where I would want to see my money go to, is pushing clicks and calls. So if you're not getting that with the way that you have your social set up, if you're not getting clicks, calls, hard conversions, clicks into the website, if you're getting and I saw this the other day and ripped all the budget from it. I had a campaign set up that was all new AIA. I inherited it, and they were spending $5,000 on it. and the frequency was really low. So of course the clicks were low. Like the reach was really high. The reach was insane. But the clicks were maybe like, I want to say the reach was like to 12,000. The frequency was like 1.7, and the clicks were like, I think it was like 211, I think, or something like that. No calls, no leads, no anything. So, I mean, if I were going to look at it overall, the awareness play, yeah, that's there, but am I getting really anything for my dollar here? And if I were to look at it, this were my dealership, I would want to do something else. Let's try something else. So you got to think about, if every dealership is doing these AIA campaigns, how are you going to stand out among them? If you're required by your OEM, and there's a couple that do require you to do AIA carousels. I'm not working with any currently at the moment, but I've heard there's at least 2 OEMs that require you to do AIA carousels. Most of them, 98% of them, say you can just do new sales or used sales. But yeah, I retract my statement at the beginning of the video. I have heard of 2 of them. I just don't, they're not clients that I have, these 2 particular OEMs. I'm not going to mention them. Anyway, if you have to have that, then design an intro card or an intro video to that AIA that makes it stand out. Why should someone look at that? What makes that offer special? What makes the offer different than any other AIA carousel that they're seeing out there? Because unless you make it stand out, it's not going to, there's nothing to grab that customer's eye. There's nothing to grab that customer's click and go into, deeper into the rabbit hole, aka your website. But the content on there too. So I've been playing with ad copy as well. So the standard ad copy most vendors have is, hey, are you still looking for this car? Hey, check out our deals. We're awesome. Whatever. I've been using AIA to help me write ad copy that's a little bit more compelling, a little bit more grabbing, and I've actually been seeing some decent results from it. So I would actually also challenge any dealers to ask your vendor to look at the ad copy they're running on your social ads. Or if you're accessing the business manager, which you should, to absolutely go look at what ad copy they're writing in there. Because I think that makes a big difference in how the engagement of people are with your ads. Like, what's the value you're giving them for stopping and reading your ad? So just come by and, look at our inventory. It's awesome. Or we have a great selection. You can do better. And just ask ChatGPT, hey, give me compelling, eye-grabbing ad copy for my social media ad on a CX-50. I mean, it'll write itself, but you have to put a little extra for it. I only have one store out of all the stores I manage. I have one store that asks me anything about their ad copy. And there's other stores that I do that for them, the ones that are running social. I just do that for them anyway. I try to keep the ad copy updated and change it out every now and again. Because otherwise you're just looking at the same shit and it's just boring. So trying to make it jump out at you, trying to make it capture some eyeballs, I think that's all important stuff when we're doing paid social. And I think that makes the dollar go better. Don't just depend on the AIAs. Ask what the ad copy is. Use ChatGPT to write better ad copy that can grab a couple of more clicks and a couple more eyeballs. Because that's the name of the game, right? Especially right now. And as more people are leaning into either service and or used cars, that's going to become more vitally important too. So don't be afraid to dig into social, paid social, for fixed stops. A lot of people are taking road trips right now. I've had really, really good luck with running a holiday road trip ready kind of feature. So don't be afraid of that stuff. All those things that speak to what's going on in your community and the culture right now, those things work. Those things help grab eyeballs. That's all I got for this week. Happy selling.